Good morning. I'm delighted to welcome you all to the AESQ Supplier Forum for the fall of 2023, hosted by MTU in this lovely facility in Munich. So welcome. We have over 100 individuals that have registered and come here today from 19 different countries. The AESQ Supplier Forums are a way for us to share what we do in AESQ, the Aerospace Engine Supplier Quality Group, which is comprised of member companies who have a passion for safety and quality in the aviation business. Today, you'll see a full day packed with various groups coming forward to share what AESQ is doing, the latest work we have going on with AS 13100. We're going to share some best practices. So we have a supplier here who will come up and share their journey of implementing AS 13100. And this is an opportunity for all of you to engage. We have many AESQ members around the room, and I encourage you to have a conversation. If you have questions or just want to talk through how it's going with your company, please, this is an opportunity for us all to share. And today is an opportunity for you all to develop a network. So we have professionals that are included in the AESQ working groups here. We have subject matter experts that are coming. A little later this morning, we'll break out into different groups to look at particular subjects and have the experts here to answer your questions. The AESQ Supplier Forums focus on AS 13100 deployment. We're here to support you. We have rolled out AESQ reference manuals you can see on the right side of this slide. These are best practice guides. They will help you implement how you can go implement 13100 to achieve zero defects. And I know that's a concept that's difficult to get our heads around. We can do it. And the way, the methods, the guidance, the best practices are contained in the reference manuals that AESQ puts out. I want to go through a couple of housekeeping. Coffee and lunch breaks. We'll have food. There's breakfast in the back. There's coffee and tea and food. There are emergency exits. So you'll see the signs for emergency exits around the room. The restrooms are to the right. If you walk out the doors, turn right, you'll see restrooms. Silence your cell phones, please. No smoking. And today's event is being recorded. I'm going to walk through the agenda very quickly before we introduce our first speaker of the morning. The keynote address this morning will follow me, and then Marcus Bragg from MTU will come on stage next. And we're delighted to have Dr. Silke Maurer here from MTU to share her thoughts. Then we'll move on to an overview of AESQ, its history, why AESQ was formed, an overview of 13100, and then how we're doing with deployment. We'll move on to best practices for human factors. Human factors comes up frequently as an area that you all have said we'd like a little more information on. So this is an opportunity to learn more about how to implement human factors and to ask the experts. Supplier success story. So we have a supplier, Aubert Duval, is here to share their journey. And so we thank them for coming today. Then we have a subject matter interest group breakouts around the room. You can walk around the room to different booths and talk to the experts in various areas within AS 13100. We have keynote speakers for the afternoon. From MTU, we have Thomas Frank and Alfred Hopp coming. So we're delighted that MTU has hosted this event and welcome them. We'll have an overview of training, another area you've asked for some support to understand what training is available. And then we'll have a breakout. AS 13100 frequently asked question panel. So we'll have a panel of folks here that can answer your questions live. How you can get involved, and then we'll close out the day. So with that, I'd like to welcome Marcus Bragg to the stage. Marcus is the Director of Quality, Supply Chain, and MRO for MTU Aero Engines. And thank you all for coming.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Hello, everybody in the room. On behalf of MTU Aero Engines, I'm sending out a very warm welcome to everybody who joined our forum today. My name is Marcus Bragg. I am Director for Quality, MRO, and Supply Chain here in Munich. And as a host, I'm really delighted to welcome all of you here in our Denkwerk. As you might have guessed, due to the construction sites outside, this is a fairly new building. It was just opened earlier this year, and it became really quickly a very important building for us here at MTU. This is the place where people meet, where they communicate, where they can be creative. And that's why I'm so happy to host this meeting here, this forum here for AESQ, because this is exactly what we would love to achieve. We would love to keep the communication up with you and to make sure that we have always a strong bonding between us or the OEMs and the supply chain. So before I start with some additional information about the day today, you've been escorted in here. So at the end of the day, there will be again the shuttle who will escort you out. If you need an escort during the day because you have to leave earlier, please let us know so we'll make sure that somebody is here to pick you up and will take you to the gate. All right. As mentioned, communication is important for us, and that's why we want to keep this venue here as an interactive one. So that's why we have the Slido online. So please, if you want to communicate with us, and there will be several opportunities to do so, please use our Slido. There are two ways to connect to Slido. Number one is use your cell phones, scan the QR code and enter the passcode, which is 122XSJ. Or if you have a laptop in front of you, you could also go to slido.com and enter the hashtag 3593254. So please connect with the Slido now. We will show the QR code several times later again. But just to make sure that it works properly, please feel free to scan it. I'll give you a couple of seconds, and then we can jump into the first question. So just to keep the challenge up, I'm waiting a little longer. So, did it work? I still see cell phones in the air. Okay. So, two ways to interact with us. The one thing is the polls. So, we will frequently raise questions, so you are free to put in answers. So, we will have live on stage an evaluation of the questions. And the second one is the Q&A section. So whenever you have questions on specific items during the day, feel free to place your questions here. Also, feel free to browse through the questions that have already been posted, as you can put on likes, and the more likes a question has, it will pop up on the top in the end. So even our time is limited in the end, so we will see how many questions we can answer, but we will for sure pick the ones with the highest likes number. So, let's see whether it works or not. So, the first question to all of you, a very challenging one. What is the name of the city where you live? Just to get an idea where you guys are all coming from. Okay, it's already getting international. Munich is just popping up on 5, but it's getting bigger. We got Rzeszów, Nottingham, Tel Aviv, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati. Still growing. Niedereichbach. Who of the English native speakers can spell Niedereichbach? Still some coming in. All right. Okay, so a nice diversity from every spot of the world. Give it another 10 seconds and then we move on to the next. All right. Bordeaux, Aarburg. Guiyang in China. Okay. So thank you. That was exercise number 1. 1 participant typing. Okay, 3. Okay. Let's catch these 3 and then let's move on. Active poll. 2. 1. That must be a city with a lot of letters, actually. Okay. Good. Thank you for that one. So let's move on to the next question. Have you attended previous AESQ supplier forums? So that's a quick one. Yes, no? I'll give you a minute to decide. So the major amount is fairly new to these forums. That is great. We're always happy to see new people showing up. So thank you to those who are coming back, but also thank you to those who are newbies here. Therefore, yeah, I'm hoping you all and we all will have an exciting day today. And then the final one, what function are you in, just to get a feeling who we are talking to. Quality is not a quality itself topic, right? Therefore, it's always interesting for us to see in which function you are. Quality engineering, okay. I was hoping to see more design engineers here, actually. Okay, focus is more quality engineering. Production, 2. Good. Okay, but I think the majority is still quality. Nevertheless, of course, for future events as well, I think it's important to advertise this event as well to other functions, as quality is something that is a topic for everybody, as we all know. All right, that was the end of the polling, and therefore, I'm very, very happy to welcome Silke Mauro today as our keynote speaker. I asked her whether she wants to be here and to have a keynote speech, and she said immediately yes, because quality is one of her favorite topics. So Silke, first of all, thank you very much for being here and having the keynote speech. Stage is yours.